It's March 1974. The Betts family, Jerry, Antoine, and their son Terry are taking a spring walk through the woods at their estate on Fort George Island. Little do they know that today they'll come across something that will change their lives forever. As Terry walks ahead, he can feel something pulling him towards an unknown object. Unsure of what to make of this feeling but curious to pursue whatever's calling to him, Terry walks to the front of the group and feels the pull. Terry's mother screams out, "Where are you going?" But he ignores her as he frantically searches for an unknown object that he needs and craves. As Terry gets closer, he can see something, a shiny silver sphere the size of a bowling ball, hiding among the grass. As Terry approaches it, he realizes that it is uncannily undamaged and free of filth. Terry pulls it up. It's heavy, but he holds it tightly. His father chuckles at how he constantly finds trash. The three of them examine the mysterious ball, each fascinated by the perfect, shiny sphere as they walk back home. They enthusiastically discuss its possible origins, fantasizing about the possibilities that maybe it's a cannonball used by conquistadors or that it could have fallen from a NASA satellite in orbit. When they arrive home, Terry places the enigmatic ball on a windowsill in his room. After 2 weeks, Terry invites a friend over, and the two of them chat and take turns playing the guitar. The lads sit in silence as Terry strikes a chord, startled by the vibration that emanates from the windowsill. As they search for the source of the sound, they realize that it was probably just a possum. Terry speaks calmly, but as he raised his pick, he cast a suspicious glance in the direction of the sphere. As he struck another chord, he noticed that the sphere was now vibrating, and this time it was also making a humming noise. When Terry approaches the ball, he puts down the instrument and moves closer. He stands in quiet after being startled by the sound before screaming out to his father. Terry explains the strange occurrence to his father. Antoine examines it carefully and holds it up to his ear while shaking it vigorously. Shocked, he places the ball on a table. As soon as it is there, it starts to roll towards one edge of the table and then circles around, moving corner to corner in a rectangle and becoming motionless until it rolls back to the center and becomes still once more. They all stare at the ball, perplexed by the display, and Antoine places it on the floor. As soon as it touches the ground, it rolls quickly toward the door. This time, it's obvious the ball wants to escape because it's too valuable to lose. Terry quickly chases after the ball and grabs it before it leaves the house. He then places the ball inside a box where it can't make another escape attempt. Over the following days, Terry decided to conduct his own experiment. Strange things also happened in the Betts family home, including doors that would suddenly slam shut at night and strange Oregon music playing throughout the house even though they didn't own an organ. The family sat down to discuss the sphere, feeling that it was something truly extraterrestrial and that it reacted to solar radiation. When hit with a hammer, it would ring out loudly as though it felt the strike. The officials arrived to examine the ball. They were perplexed by the object's unexpected movement, but they were unable to identify it or explain it. All they could say with certainty was that it wasn't from another planet. The Betts family disagreed and sought a second opinion, so they sent the sphere to Dr. J. Allen Hynek, an astronomer who specializes in extraterrestrials. He spent 6 hours reviewing the sphere and conducting numerous examinations, and after learning this new information, the doctor discovered that the strange sphere emits radio waves and has its own magnetic field. The Betts family was then interviewed by a reporter. The mysterious sphere immediately gained notoriety after his account was published in newspapers across the USA and even made international headlines. Everyone was curious about this enigmatic sphere, so a television crew soon came to the B.E.T.'s home in the hopes of seeing the extraterrestrial object for themselves. When the sphere was set down, it performed its usual trick, leaving the visitors stunned by what they had seen. The reporters asked to place the family's poodle next to the ball to give an indication of the size. However, as the dog sat there, it started to whimper and cover its ears. The Betts family believed they owned something extremely important, so they insured it via Lloyd's of London. If they left it at home, they had someone stay to watch it to ensure it wasn't stolen or allowed to escape. But what exactly was the mysterious Betts Fair? In a statement to the media, the authorities explained that it was made of high-grade stainless steel, though they didn't make it themselves, and it was probably created elsewhere on Earth. If it had come from space, however, experts advised that it would have been made of different materials, according to their reviews. The sphere's outer shell is 1 inch thick and hollow inside, and it weighs exactly 22 pounds. It had no seams for that amount of stainless steel. They were certain it was only a steel ball because of the shell's scuffs and a little 3 mm long triangular mark, but they wanted to be sure. Using X-rays, they discovered small beads of residue inside, which would have been captured inside the object during manufacturing. Since the beater's house had uneven stone floors and it had only ever been seen to move around there, they were able to explain why there was a feeling of movement inside the ball as well as the mystery of the strange movement. It is a perfectly balanced sphere that sitting on the slightest uneven surface would cause it to roll. The sphere was later determined to be just a ball chuck valve made by the Bell & Gossip Company. The ball's size, weight, and metallurgical composition matched perfectly to what they made, confirming how it managed to make the journey to the Betts estate 3 years earlier. The authority also wanted to cut it open to prove their assessment, but the Bettses were adamant that it couldn't be damaged. An artist, James Sterling Jones, had gathered a few of these ball check valves because he liked to use them in his sculptures. Since his boss didn't have room for them, he placed them on the top of the roof rack. However, as he drove past the prettiest estates, some of these balls somehow managed to roll off and get lost, at least until Terry came along one fine spring day. But what about the radio waves and peculiar magnetic properties, which Dr. Hynek confirmed? Even though Antoine said that's what was discovered, the doctor never verified it. The 1970s were a heyday for all things extraterrestrial, and anything connected would gain popularity right away. The government only made this trend worse by offering rewards for proof.